And welcome to the Escape with Nick and Adam. My name is Nick.
If I'm wrong, nothing happens. We go to jail peacefully, quietly. We'll enjoy it. But if I'm right, then we can't stop this thing. Then you, Lenny, will have saved the lives of millions of registered voters. And I'm Adam.
Welcome to the Escape, where we talk about entertainment, sci-fi, comics, action figures, pop culture, and everything else nerdy. Tonight we are talking about Zaslav finally has his guys to lead DC Studios. We are talking about Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
Are you going to see it?
Am I going to
talk about it? Not yet. Whoa.
Sorry. I'm trying to spread the word. Trying to spread the word. My bad.
We'll talk about all the other things going on with DC. And plus, we got some action figure reviews coming up. We got some. I took an adventure today, Adam, to Ollie's.
Ollie's, yes.
So we'll get there. But let's start off with DC. Big news. They announced that James Gunn and Peter Safran are essentially the Kevin Feige of was kind of the DC Films, DCEU, now has been rebranded as DC Studios. And Adam, James Gunn, Peter Safran, is that a good move?
Yes, I think that it is a good move. I'm not sure. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all, especially the first indication that we're going to have one way or another to tell if this is going to be a good move or bad move. It's going to be the project and who's on the project. Now, I'm not saying – I'm just going to say a Catwoman movie. There isn't one, but a Catwoman movie, okay? And they've got this director set, and this is the screenplay writer. By the director, the project, and the writer, we'll be able to take a look at these two guys and say, okay, I'm with you so far. But if you tell me Taika Waititi is going to direct the Batman 2, then I know we've made a bad choice. Those are all far extreme examples, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's my hot take.
Well, and getting back to the origins of, Marvel Studios, you had Jon Favreau, you had Kenneth Branagh, you had Joss Whedon, all these essentially film geniuses, film heavy hitters, really starting the MCU, really getting the ball going, really getting, the foundation laid. And James Gunn was part of that. He came in obviously later with Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think it is a good move, but it's a very tentative good. I'm a Lions fan. I'm like, yes, there's hope and optimism.
Yes.
Very tentatively, though. Very tentatively.
Yes. I do have a lot of good things to say about James Gunn. So.
Right. No, and like I said, as far as the comic book movies he's made, he hasn't made a bad one yet. Now, can he be the guy who's put in charge of bringing forth, the DC from the absolute mess that it's become? Because, from the Snyderverse, from everything that's come out of the last few years, versus, all the things that were planned, that's Zaslav cut, all the J.J. Abrams stuff that he was planning. Is James Gunn the right guy to lead DC Studios for, along with Peter Safran? Safran was doing a little bit of research today, because we're talking on the internet, because why wouldn't he do research? Peter Safran, he's the one of the big heavy hitters as far as producers for that Warner Brothers has. He did produce Aquaman. He did produce Shazam. But also he produced all the Conjuring verse movies, which that kind of gets me excited. Very big Blumhouse guy. So, like I said, James Gunn has done it with smaller, lesser known comic book characters. I'm excited to see what he can do with the top tier guys. What can he do with Superman? What can you do with Batman? What can you do with Wonder Woman? What can you do with Catwoman? All the top guys. What can he do?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that the sky's the limit because I don't think it's misplaced. I don't think it's a misstep to say that we could expect him to do well. But at the same time, where you and I are kind of in danger is that we're like lovers of the source material, right? We're like we love that stuff so it's hard to take ourselves away from it. But general audiences are going to be a factor in that too. Um, but I look at Brightburn and it's like, well, that's what he can do with an injustice type of a scenario if there ever was one.
Did
Um,
you like Brightburn?
I did like Brightburn.
Because it is basically a knockoff Superman.
Yeah, there's an Amazon woman at the end of the movie running across the country doing stuff too. They don't say it, they don't show her, but they talk about her. It's
Yeah,
a yeah, it's a. I think it was a New Line Cinema movie too, so that means I don't know why they couldn't just. Well, they didn't do it for the sake of the movies, but New Line Cinemas, a Warner Brothers subsidiary or whatnot. So I mean, they had the rights to do what they needed to do. Um, and then, of course, you know, you've got the last Suicide Squad movie. Suicide Squad. I mean,
I mean it. Unfortunately, did not do well financially, but
but it also,
considered one of the best things that DC came out with in the last 5 years, besides the Snyderverse. Better than the other Suicide Squad movie.
in my opinion, I think it was better. I liked the other Suicide Squad movie. I really did like it, but I liked this better. And that movie, the wait, I don't remember which one. The Suicide Squad is the James Gunn one.
Correct.
Okay, so that had an uphill battle though. It was an August release during
COVID.
COVID,
Yeah,
and it had an HBO Max
release
uh,
at the same time.
release at the same time. So I mean, it was. And let's not face it, the even though, like I said, I liked the first Suicide Squad movie, the Suicide Squad had an uphill battle just with the stigmata or the stigma of the first one.
But I think you know, Suicide Squad, the David Ayers version, was the perfect example of the train wreck behind the scenes that's going on at not Marvel, but Warner Brothers,
I
of
agree.
the absolute just you. No one wants to pick a direction. You're not going to let the director direct. You're not going to let anyone take the lead. You have so many people with putting their ideas, putting their fingers in the pie, if you will, that it all just turns into a bit of a shit show where, oh, we got to, the rumor was, oh, we had to force a Joker into it. Be like, why? Joker didn't need to be in that movie.
No, he didn't. And you know why they had to put the Joker in the movie? Because somebody was like, "Well, we need the Joker. The Joker generates this much money, blah blah
Yeah.
blah," or whatever it is.
Test audiences say this. It's like,
Yeah,
shut up.
no, exactly. And the old regime at Warner Brothers, and we will see now, because the old regime at Warner Brothers was very reactionary. No one liked this, so we won't do that. Everybody liked this, so let's blow that up and overdo it. You know.
And getting back to Peter Safran has I'm not going to say a great track record. He has a very good track record with the movies that he's put out with Warner Brothers so far. Um, one thing I'll say for this, he is, and I don't know exactly who's the architect behind the Conjuring universe, but outside of any comic book universe, it's one of my favorite universes. I think what they did with that little pocket universe was create a very, very cool little niche thing.
Yeah.
Um, actually keeping all the Conjuring movies together. Like, what is it? The Annabelle movies. None,
Well,
I think, was one of the other ones, and really created a very cool little universe. I'm very excited to see, once again, what Peter Safran can do with the big boys.
it was James Wan. James Wan. He was the same director of Aquaman, and yeah, he started the Conjuring universe, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm looking it up just to make sure.
I went on IMDb, and that was the Peter Safran's produced essentially everything from the Conjuring universe. Like I said, I don't know exactly who was the architect of the whole thing, but uh, like I said, I'm a fan of the movies he's put out and he's produced.
Yeah.
Can he take it to the heights that really DC needs it to go with the big boys, with your big three, with your uh, can they fit all those characters into a coherent universe where, let's be honest, you already have The Rock in that universe.
Yeah.
Are, is that going to cause an issue with, as much as people always talk about, the egos in Hollywood, and people don't want to be, overshown, by by their stars, where you already have one of the biggest stars on the planet, and you already have Henry Cavill coming back as Superman. I mean, who else is willing to join this universe where they're not afraid to be overshown, outshined, if you will?
I'll be honest, I want that Fleck back. I really do.
I know a lot of people want Ben Affleck back as Batman, but then that kind of leaves what do you do with Robert Pattinson? Is that its own thing?
It's already is its own thing. That's not in the DC universe. It's not.
But
It's
it wouldn't be. But it wouldn't be. Well, and this is part of the issue. Do you try and work that in? Do you try and work in, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, or are we just kind of calling those as we do in comic books? Are those
one
just one
shots.
shots
One
or
shots.
miniseries?
Don't complicate it. One shots. And you don't have to have the Flash run into those universes. You don't need that. You can make those contents and you can build your DCU just like you're still doing. Keep going with it. You're okay. So we've told a few bunk stories. We can tell better stories. Let's just keep going. But I don't see any reason you have to make it convoluted to the point where, well, now we got to bring in Pattinson's Batman just because one, it's already successful in a recognizable brand or whatever, or the opposite of that. We're afraid we'll confuse people. Fans of the Batman will go and see the Batman. Fans of the DCU will go see those movies.
Right, but also you're going to have a section of normie fans that are used to the Marvel universe, where it's all one continuous thing. Like I said, I think a big concern is confusing fans. Is they're like, hey, is Robert Pattinson? And here's the thing: if Robert Pattinson, let's say they end up making a trilogy, and the villains and heroes that they bring into that, do they try and, like, let's say they do what I've wanted them to do forever. Let's say they bring in a Mr. Freeze. Now,
Okay.
are you saying that Mr. Freeze is not a part of the DCE moving forward? Like, it's all completely separate?
Well, if you're never going to show me Mr. Freeze in the Batfleck universe, then yeah, then show me Mr. Freeze over there. Give me something. You know what I mean?
Right, but I'm just saying, like, let's say who,
Well,
I don't know who you would, and I'm just going to stick with Mr. Freeze, but you sign whoever wants to be Mr. Freeze because Matt Reeves did a great job with Robert Pattinson's Batman, and now you're just like, well, no, he's done. It's only one movie. We're just going to keep him over here, and I think your comic, like I said, your average comic book reader understands what a one shot is. I don't think your average superhero movie will kind of get that. They'll understand why is Robert Pattinson all the way, like it's its own thing. I think that'll start to confuse your average comic book movie fan, and not your average comic book reader fan.
that may well be. Will it affect? It comes down to will it affect the box office sales? I don't know. Perhaps, but I still say if you tell a good story, people will show up. Especially if you tell a good Batman story. Now, look, it's a unique situation too, Nick. That's Batman. You kid. There's no way you're gonna have some offshoot play the fish stick, Aquaman. This guy, you know.
Right.
So we're not gonna go into a world where there's a Zac Efron fish stick or Aquaman. I like saying fish stick because there's a Joker called the other one fish stick. Um, You know what I mean? So Batman's kind of a unique case. I'm with you. I like to say I want to see a universal like Mr. Freeze, but what if they nail Mr. Freeze in the DCU in the Batfleck universe, and then they don't nail him over there, or then you get two bad ones? You know what I mean?
Well,
Um,
my thing, I don't want like two parallel DC EUs, right? I don't want like, well, we've got this Pattinson universe, and now we've got, let's say, the Affleck universe, but they're both successful, but they'll never intermingle, and it'll be one of those. If they're both successful, like in their own rights, but they don't cross over because, well, we just decided this, you know, back whenever. I was like, it's just, I think it could very, very quickly become a mess if handled poorly.
yeah, I
Which also, what you might need a Flashpoint Beyond type of thing to fix it, to reset it. So who knows? Because that
Flash.
because that because that movie is being completely overhauled from Ezra Miller, from what I understand, is pretty much out. They're reshooting the crap out of that
Yeah. Well,
thing,
here's the only
which
problem that I have.
rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, but we can't make that movie. We can't. That's not achievable. It's just not. The idea of introducing the Batman Flashpoint to integrate and say it's going to bring in the Batman and bring in others, they can't do it because they can't execute it. They're not there yet. They're nowhere near that. They need to take this shit back to formula and continue to build this new phase and get it somewhere. You know what I mean? And steer the ship on this whole Ezra Miller Flash movie and get it ready to go. We've canceled Batgirl. We've moved on. Are we going to do a second Batman movie with Rob Pattinson? Yes, we are. Okay, fine, let's do it. Are we going to connect it into the next world? I don't think so. I think we worry about what's connected with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold and kind of let a little bit of things grow. Maybe you got to chop down some of the hedges, but definitely some decisions have to be made. It's going to be interesting.
Well, and you already have your first building block into the Zaslav universe with Black Adam,
Right.
and that was a complete like, why, why is that the first of the building blocks? Like, I understand the Rock and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, um, yeah, no one knows who Black Adam is, but he's going to be in the movie. He's going to be in the upcoming movies because now we've already set up Henry Cavill and the Rock.
Right.
So I am that is my concern with moving forward, is they've just, in order to try and clean up what has come before and trying to, like, we all know what they're trying to do, but it's like they're trying to make it work with the random bits and pieces that they had before. And like I said, it can work, but you got to be an absolute magician at this point. So
I say blast off and let's see where it goes.
what's the worst that could happen? Whatever. It's
Well,
fine.
the worst that can happen is that the next movie or whatever it is a Batman and Robin. That's the worst thing that can happen. And guess what? Then Zaslav says no more comic book movies. This is stupid.
Yeah,
Because to tell you the truth, and I'm sitting here on a podcast where I love comic books. See, I can do this podcast and I can still talk about comic books. I don't have to think that comic book movies need to be made if they suck. Think
yeah.
about it. Think about
No,
it.
no. Well, that's the thing. Because now, what, 25 years ago, we were like, oh man, I really hope they make this. Oh man, I really hope they make this. Now it's the point, be like, please stop making crap. Please
Right.
stop. Just
Yeah.
pump the brakes if you're not gonna. Yeah, how many examples do we have now? She-Hulk, the latest. We have. I'm terrified for Wakanda Forever. Um, just so many things where, like, if you're not gonna take it seriously, just don't even freaking do it.
Yeah.
And getting to, one of the fallouts from Henry Cavill being announced is, uh, he is leaving The Witcher and he's going to be replaced by Liam Hemsworth. Now, there was just an article that basically, I don't know if it's an article, I apologize, I shouldn't say that, but there's been rumors floating around that the writer's room for The Witcher essentially hates the source material. Just, they make fun of the fans, they make fun of the fans who like this, they essentially hate the source material, which is the books, the video games, the whole thing. And then you have Henry Cavill, who loves the source material, loves the games, loves the books, like will literally sit there and go back and forth with you about it. And it's just like, what have we come to where the writers take a job where they hate the job? Like, okay, I've had jobs where I've hated the job I'm doing, but you still respect the work enough to actually, try really hard.
Sure.
Like, hey, like I hate like slinging pizzas all day, but I'm still gonna do. I'm still gonna make pizzas the way that they want me to make the pizzas. I'm not just gonna be a total a-hole and put whatever I want on it because you still have customers to satisfy in some way, shape, or fashion, even if you don't like the damn job that you're doing.
Right. Well, I mean, is The Witcher got poor writing right now, or I don't watch the show.
No, that's it. I like Henry Cavill. I tried giving The Witcher a try. It's not my thing. It is very.
He was very naked in the first episode, wasn't he? He walk around
so.
naked
Well, yeah,
walk around naked.
Yeah, there's the meme where he's in the hot tub. So a lot of ladies like that. It's fantasy, but it's very, fantasy monsters. The whole thing. It's a fun show. It's just maybe I just tried to watch at a bad time. But I remember the first season was well received, and then the second season was not very well received, and basically a lot of fans were saying that's not the character, that's not how that should have been. Basically what fans do. When you mess with the source material and you're trying to interject whatever you're trying to interject.
Well, every fan who's ever loved anything everywhere
every nerd who's ever complained about something, I don't care if it's a comic book or a book. Like I could have my wife on here and she can tell you all the things wrong that with all the books that she's read where they've tried to be adapted to either the big screen or little screen and shit. They'd be like, "Yep, nope, that's not right." But I mean that's just what fans do. I think Henry Cavill's very much like, thank you very much. I'm out. Liam Hemsworth, good luck with that because I think it's going to be an absolute shit show for moving forward. And Liam Hemsworth, God bless you. You're going to have to get in the gym there, sir.
Is he playing the same character?
Yep.
Oh,
he's playing Growl. Yeah, you got to follow up Henry Cavill, and it's so
Henry Cavill's huge.
Yes, and it's one of those things where it just shows you how classy of a dude he is. Like he's just like, hey, hey, thank you fans, thank you everybody I worked with, yada yada yada, and good luck, Liam Hemsworth. I'm sure you do great. And it's just like as classy as can be.
And everybody like me hoped that this would happen. I'm sorry, Witcher fans, but we all want Superman back.
Yes, but that's the good news. It's like so. My hope is you're going to be so busy being Superman that you had to drop out of essentially everything, and this is kind of what I think it's going for. So, yeah, sorry, Witcher fans. Sorry, everybody who, if you were a Witcher fan of like season 2, enjoy Liam Hemsworth. But we're going to take Henry Cavill, and he's going to be Superman for hopefully the rest of his life. So, I hope it's a long life.
I am now about to interrupt this podcast with a fantasy pick. Nick, what does Henry Cavill do as Superman? What is the end game? What do we want to see here, folks, today? Or the end, what do we want to see?
Kingdom Come.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I want him to be Superman so long where he actually naturally has the gray, the salt and pepper gray.
Kingdom Come's a tall order, though, right? I mean, that's a very tall order.
I think he can do it.
No, I'm not talking about for him. It's just
Right.
a few minutes ago, like when I meant what I said a few minutes ago. Just to reiterate, when we were saying, "Oh, do we get the Flashpoint Batman and all this and do this to reset?" I don't think they can achieve that yet at all. I don't even. I think that we're like a decade away from that kind of storytelling and that kind of writing. So, um, Kingdom Come, on the other hand, it's like Kingdom Come came out of nowhere, right? It was this end of world, end of time story, right?
And can I tell you, like, one of the stupidest takes I've ever had in my entire life, and
Mhm.
I know we talked about it before, how much I hated Alex Ross's work at the time because it wasn't comic booky enough.
Right? So did I. It's like it doesn't look like comic book stuff. Oh
It's
my
not
god,
it's not Jim Lee, moron.
moron! And then, as an adult, I start reading and looking at it, and I'm like, "You are the dumbest kid you
Absolute
ever."
masterpieces.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Ugh.
I mean, but it comes out. It's already. It starts out in a future, and when we mention Kingdom Come, what makes me go when I say that we can't achieve that yet, what's going to happen to get to that future? And that's that in that area where they just don't need to. You don't need to figure it out. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. It makes. I would love to see Henry Cavill in Kingdom Come. I really would. I just don't know if it's achievable.
That's a later Nick and Adam issue. So
Yeah.
that's a long way down the line of
Okay, so who's
problems
the
that,
villain? Who's the villain? Everybody wants Brainiac. Everybody wants Brainiac.
you give me Bryan Cranston.
Ooh, as Brainiac?
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. I like what you're putting down. Yeah, it'd be great. Wow. Could you imagine that? Yeah, you just did. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Bryan Cranston is Brainiac. Oh man. Did you ever watch Superman Unbound, the animated
No.
movie where he fights
Eh,
Brainiac?
yes. Yeah.
That's right.
I
That's
think so.
that's adapted from Jeff Johns and Dick Donner's writing, dude. That's Jeff Johns, Dick Donner. Dick Donner, right?
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Jeff Johns, Dick Donner, and Gary Frank. All three of them worked on the Action Comics at that time. And we're not talking like their work on a special run of fucking Action Comics.
Right.
The Jeff Johns, Dick Donner, and Gary Frank run of Action Comics. And I have it. Oh my god, it's some of my most coveted comic books. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see that and Last Son. So no Jonathan Kent crap.
Uh
You know what Last Son's about, right?
no.
Last Son is about Zod and Ursa having a child within the Phantom Zone that they abuse to a point. And Kal-El saves the boy from the Phantom Zone and begins to raise him because he has no other father. So they name the boy Chris after Christopher Reeve. And you know how I always talk about how I don't like the idea of superheroes having children. So
Yeah, you hate Damian Wayne.
there are certain exceptions. I don't hate Damian Wayne. I do prefer Dick Grayson. But Lois Lane, this is before she's ever pregnant with Jonathan Kent. When Clark is proposing this to her, the idea of raising this kid, she says, "Clark, we're not meant to be parents. You're here to defend the truth and save the world, and I'm here to expose the truth and tell it to the world. We have no business being parents." And I love that particular take on their relationship.
All right, real quick, because Gary from Neurotic had an interesting choice for a future Joker, and I want to show him to you real quick. Since you do not watch uh, House of the Dragon, this is the kid who plays Amon. Amon? real quick. So this is Ewan Mitchell, and just real quick because he's freaking amazing in House of the Dragon. What do you think of him as a possible Joker candidate?
Yeah, he looks like the Joker. Actually, he looks like a Brian Bolland Joker
Yeah,
from the Killing Joke.
Yeah, he's a younger guy too, I believe.
Yeah.
So he is.
But if you think about the art from the Killing Joke, you know what I'm talking about when I say Brian Bolland?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that nice long face.
Yeah.
He doesn't say how old he is, but he's got to be he can't be very far into his 20s. So that was I was just as we're talking about excuse me, DC casting stuff. So all right. Is there anything else that we need to talk about as far as DC stuff?
No, okay. I was gonna say Captain America, but
All right.
not
What
per
about
se Captain America, but they're talking about the rumors going around that Thunderbolt Ross is going to turn into Red Hulk and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
are
and
they going to fight?
Yeah, they've got not Henry Cavill, Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, which I was not a fan of that rumor. I'm not a fan of that it came to fruition because I love Harrison Ford. He's one of those guys who can just move on. Just move on.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
I don't know why. Like, why is he hanging around? Like, why? Like, seriously, why? What do you got to prove? You've already been Indiana Jones. You're Han Solo.
He's got another Jones movie coming out, right?
Yeah. That freaking disaster. That's what that thing is. That's the giant ball from Raiders of the Lost Ark at the beginning. Like, that's the giant ball. That's the thing. Like, that's gonna kill me. That's gonna kill me. That one.
What did you think of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
I'm so much older and more mature now. It sucks because it's very much in line with just being such a George Lucas fanboy. I'm like, hey, it's fun. It's not terrible. And then like you look back, you're like, it's not good. Like the whole alien thing, the whole.
There's truth to that. I didn't know this, but the crystal skulls are real.
Right, but they're not from aliens.
Well, it's open to speculation.
Well, that was always the best thing about the Indiana Jones movies because they were, for the most part, very grounded. Obviously, when you open the Ark of the Covenant and it nukes everybody. I think just the alien thing was just a bit too far.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they're here. They walk among us.
Yeah,
well, and we got them in the sky all the time. Now it's the part where everybody's like wondering if he's telling the truth. He is. But okay, all joking. Well, all non-joking and all facetiousness aside. I mean, there's lots of strange evidence out there that goes back a long time about those damn skulls. I thought it was at the time. I agreed with you. I agreed with you at the time, like the alien stuff. Like this is Indiana Jones. Today, I say bold choice. Not necessarily the right choice, but it was a bold choice. I will say that. I think it was a long line. This sounds like a really good title, but
right.
I think in my own personal paranormal, interests and all that stuff, if I was a little kid and I knew all about the crystal skulls, that might have been an adventure I'd have had by myself with my action figures. Would I have made a whole movie about it? I don't know.
Probably.
Bold choice.
Bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
But what's this one about, though? I mean, we never say the same thing twice now with Indiana Jones. That's the rule. We got 4 movies about 4 different things.
All right, hold on, because this is going to take some. I'm going to pull this up real quick because it is. All Yeah, get a keyboard. Yeah. Indiana Jones. Five is the best spot, so for short round return hopes. Moments. Two. And looking. Oh, that YouTube so far. So
I forgot what we were doing, Kermit.
all right, so this is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones 5, the entire cast so far. This is from March. And I'm trying. So the Indiana Jones franchise has been dormant since. Let's
He
confirm.
shits his pants.
Dude, it ain't good. That's why I'm trying. I want to
It
get
ain't
it.
good.
It ain't good, dude. There's time travel. I'm telling you.
What?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I really hope that
Um.
I hope in 18 years that I'm robust and alive, and I say bold choice.
Yeah. Fine.
See, if we had a different style podcast, we could talk about time travel because it's happened.
Has it though?
Yeah.
So this is all right. This one's from CBR from last year. Indiana Jones 5 rumored plot involves Nazis and the 60s space race. Sounds intriguing so far, but all right. So the cover the story. Character details for Indiana Jones 5 revealing the film will unfold against the backdrop of the 1960 space race between the U.S. and Soviet Union to reach the moon. Co-writer director James Mangold previously hinted that the fifth Indiana Jones movie would take place at partially in the 60s era in New York City. What's more, the Illuminati has reported Indiana Jones 5 co-star Mads Mikkelsen is set to play a Nazi scientist. So, like, it all sounds good so far, but I'm trying to get the
If I'm
because
telling you right now, if this movie would have been made in 1996, it would have been called Indiana Jones in Space. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
yeah, no, I'm trying to because dude, it's so bad. But we might have to come back to it. But
I will tell you this: when that movie comes out, I'll be there on opening day. I will be there.
so we also know Phoebe Waller-Bridge will play a key role in the movies as Indy's assistant, as Nicholson, Thomas, Antonio Banderas, Toby Jones, someone 20.
Why don't they bring Short Round back?
They're supposed to,
Wow.
but it's so basically it's very much MCU-ish is where basically Indiana Jones dies and is replaced by one.
Why make the movie if you're going to kill him? Indiana Jones never dies at the end of the movie.
Because he is a evil white man who does bad.
That's a bit of a leap, sir.
Is it though? Is it?
Well, yeah, considering he saved everybody when the
You save everybody from the Nazis and the KGB.
yeah, exactly.
But
I probably talked about it on the podcast before, but when you are an adult and you watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade through after being a kid and watching it, and remember that show, the Indiana Jones Chronicles?
yeah, they had River Phoenix, right?
No, River Phoenix was at the beginning of the
That's right.
of the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade.
He played young Indy there, but that's part of what I'm about to say too. And then Indy finds his dad captive in a Nazi prison or whatnot. And he goes to save him, and we're running out of the building. And this tells you the kind of father that Indiana Jones had. The Nazi comes up. Indy pulls out a piece, blows him away, and fucking kills him right there. And what does his father say? Junior, what did you do? I can't believe what you just did. Come on, Dad, let's get out of here. This man's never killed anyone in his life. And he just watched his son kill this dude like Han Solo style and to get him to escape.
That he hadn't seen in a long time. And that's the reintroduction.
As the first thing he says, Junior, what have you done? I can't believe what you just did.
I can't believe what you've done.
Yeah. And he's like, he's in my way, Dad, and we're all like, it's Indiana Jones, dude. You don't know.
Of course, he just shoots people to get him out of his way. That's what guys do.
So then my point is they didn't show me anything like that in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and they're never going to show me anything like that in Indiana Jones Travels Time and Space.
But they did show you in the Kingdom Skull. Swinging through trees like monkeys. Why?
I don't know. Come on, Shia LaBeouf was in it.
They tried to pass the mantle off to him.
It's not a mantle character. Thank you for introducing me to the word. It's not though. There's no such thing as the next. There was never the next thing as the next Theodore Roosevelt, was there? No.
Everybody got a teddy bear.
Exactly. Huh. Think about that. Damn, Indiana Jones is Theodore Roosevelt in a way.
All right.
He's a badass.
Oh, totally badass.
Jeez.
Adam, I have a question to ask you. Are you planning to go and see Wakanda Forever opening weekend?
Yeah, probably so.
But and this is the thing. Remember when it was not even a question if you were going to see a Marvel movie on opening weekend?
Here's the thing is, I'm going to see this movie and I don't really want to go see it.
That's where I have that weekend when it comes out, that's when I have I told I have 4 family members who all have the same birthday, 5 days apart. And I always say hey, we're doing one thing. If you guys just want to do a movie, if you guys just want to go out to dinner somewhere, that's fine. And I'm really going to try and avoid hey, Wakanda's coming out because I'd rather I'd rather go see Black Adam again, Frank, instead of Wakanda Forever because before Black Adam came out, I was like, all right, we'll go check out Black Adam. It'll be fine. You know what? I'm kind of getting getting that little excited for Wakanda Forever, and then they released 3 videos, 3 short sequences from the movie, and I went, what the actual bleep is this? Did you watch those, Adam?
No.
You want to?
No, let's go.
All right.
Let's dance.
I mean, I'd say we're going to get copyright strike. It's fine, but I'm going to do my best not to. But just
buckle up. I need my Dr. Pepper Zero.
All right. So
that's ridiculous. Nothing should taste this good.
What?
Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. I truly love me some Diet Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper Zero, and Coke Zero. And I'm starting to like Sprite Zero too.
I can't do the I can't do Mountain Dew Zero. Can't do it.
Oh, I did try it. I liked it.
Stop! Right there!
All right. Can you hear this?
Yeah. Not now.
Okay. I paused it.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you get in here?
This place is amazing. The air is pristine. And the water.
All right, we're going to have to pause it periodically. So we have Angela Bassett and our Namor character here. This is supposed to be kind of like their first introduction to each other. So, Adam, I don't mean to call out people's acting abilities, but this looks like garbage. and it sounds like garbage, and it's being acted like garbage.
Well,
Which is a shame because Angela Bassett's a fantastic actress, and the woman playing Cherise did a great job. But I'm just like, certain things just have to be like, guys, this ain't good, guys.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough to. I know it's a little over dramatic, but is he inside of like T'Challa's tomb or
My
something?
mother told stories about a place like this. A protected land with people that never have to leave, that never have to change who they were. What reason do you have to reveal your secret to the world?
I am not a woman who enjoys repeating herself. Who are you?
I have many names. My people call me Gunn. But my enemies call me Namor.
So that is our introduction to not Namor, Namor. Now, I'm going to repeat what I heard on a previous podcast I was listening to today. I'm like, did they just have a Mexican character cross the border into a new country?
Stop.
That's what they did.
He's Atlantean though.
Is he? Did this sound Atlantean?
Well, they don't
My
sound
enemies call me
Wakandan either.
Namor.
All my life, grinding all my life. Hustle paid the price.
Oh, and we're gonna have yeah. Oh, there's Ironheart. Oh, goody.
They came from the water.
Wait, Ironheart's in this?
They have superhuman strength.
Yeah.
He's coming.
I thought Ironheart was gonna be a show.
No, that's
Ironheart
one of the
is.
things. I know they're doing a show, but they're bringing Riri Williams. Essentially, the funny thing is they're going to go kidnap her and bring her to Wakanda, whether she wants to or not. So, it's not like, involving human trafficking in your movie because it's the right thing to do.
Dude.
I'm just saying.
You are
When
You
is
are
that ever okay?
that's not human trafficking.
It's kidnapping.
I'm going kidnapping, but there's plenty of heroes that have to get kidnapped and thrown into the mix all the time. We're not calling this.
Not children.
Listen, here's my thing. This is it. Here's my whole hot take. When I say another reason, and this actually, all of you, you're not helping their fight here, but I'm just not excited about this next phase of Marvel at all.
No, I say the only thing I'm moderately excited about is Deadpool, and they've already pushed that back. So, but yeah,
Most broken people
I'm not excited
can be
about
great
this.
leaders.
I will tell you what this sounds like.
Introducing Namor was really an opportunity to introduce another sovereign ruler of a group of people. He shows up representing Talokan.
So you hear all like the that music, the tribal type music and all the like the whatchamacallit, almost like the island music. Doesn't this sound like it's 1998 and this is Disney's latest animated movie that they're putting out, and this is what it sounds like?
Yeah. Well, and here's the problem.
They don't feel like
one of the things. Good.
This feels like a Disney movie. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a Marvel Studios movie.
Well, what's the last thing after Endgame? What's the last thing that actually felt like Marvel?
Spider-Man: No Way Home, and it wasn't really Marvel.
No,
I mean
but it's been a long time since they put out something that was like, oh, this feels, that it gives you the same vibes as Iron Man does. No,
yeah, no, because that was Marvel Studios. This is just Disney. This is Disney now. It's because really if I close my eyes and I would just listen to that trailer, listen to the music behind it, listen to the dialogue,
you think it was a cartoon?
That's right. It sounds like a Disney animated movie. You know,
Yeah.
I can hear Don LaFontaine this summer. Come to see the Lion
Namor.
King.
No, come to see Namor. I love how you go
Namor.
roll. I am not someone who is used to repeating herself. It's like, Angela Bassett, you're better than this. You're better than that. You're better than rolling the tongue on occasion just to try and make it sound like you're classy, like you're, you know,
Right.
a rule. I'm like, and this is gonna sound bad, but like one of the things that drove me nuts about the first Black Panther movie. Do you need drums playing the entire bleeping movie?
I don't remember all the drums. But
It drove me insane. I was like, there's other instruments that you can use besides just a tribal drum. It's like going like, we're gonna make an 80s movie, and every single time that there's like music playing in the background, it's gonna be like shrieking guitars the entire time. I'm like, that'd be stupid. Like just it literally gave me a headache. Like, because I didn't watch it in the theater. We watched it like well after. I'm sitting here, I'm like, seriously, with the bleeping drums the entire time? And I'm just like, if they're just gonna turn everything up that they did in Black Panther and try and up everything a little bit more, I don't want to see this, Adam. I don't want to see it.
well, don't really. I mean, you don't have to.
This is gonna okay. This is, and getting back to my original point, because for me, Marvel, I think this is gonna do well still financially, but I think there's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna wait and go, you know, they're gonna see how it does during the opening weekend, and then they're gonna, because I'm wondering what the drop off's gonna be. Because after like Love and Thunder, the drop off for Love and Thunder was gigantic. It was historic.
It was a bad movie, though. It was a horrible movie.
I think this is going to be a terrible movie, but it's going to be one of those movies where it's a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, so you can't say anything bad about it. I'm going to say I won't say a bad thing about Chadwick Boseman, but I will rip this movie apart.
Okay, I agree, but we're talking a different level of bad, though, when we talk about Love and Thunder.
We'll see.
Wakanda Forever better not be tongue-in-cheek and slapstick funny. That's exactly what Love and Thunder was, and
I think it's
had no business being that.
I think it's going to be a different level of bad. I think it's going to be because Marvel's gotten a habit of trying to cram too much stuff into a movie.
Right.
You're trying to cram in a Chadwick Boseman tribute. You're trying to cram in Riri Williams as Ironheart. You're trying to cram in the introduction of you're introducing Riri Williams and you're introducing Namor. I put air quotes around that.
Namor.
Because that was I thought that was one of the biggest failings of Love and Thunder, besides all the joke and humor, was you try to fit in Gore the God Butcher storyline, you tried to put in the Mighty Thor storyline. I forget, just trying to compare, the other silly ass.
Well, what pissed me off is they took away from the main storyline, and that was the love triangle between Mjolnir, Thor, and Stormbreaker. And I felt like it never got resolved, and I'm still waiting. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Hopefully, they just do a spin-off show that's just about that.
Yeah, I think they need a Disney Plus show about the love triangle between Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. Thor, for sure.
Yeah,
because nothing says badass God of Thunder like him loving his tools.
God of Thunder and rock and roll. All right, what else? What else we got? What's some good escape, good news, fun stuff? What do we got?
Yeah, let's get to the toys. I'm tired of talking about this nonsense. So, Adam,
did you see McFarlane's doing a dead man?
Did you check our Instagram? Hold on, let's go check. just gonna tell you right now. Yes, we did. Yeah, because there's
I think I saw it on our Instagram.
I had it up before Toy Shiz.
Did you?
I did.
All
Check the
right.
time. Check the timestamp, people. I beat him once. So there we go. So we got golly, that thing looks good.
Wow.
Gold label 7-inch Dead Man coming at the sneak peek. No release date announced, I believe, but yeah, that's fantastic.
He's doing it, dude. He's giving us the Justice League Dark. We've got Etrigan. We've got Dead Man now. Oh man.
Are we going to go get proper Constantine besides the Page Puncher?
Well, what's wrong with the Page Puncher?
It looks okay.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make that call because you're good with paint.
But
you're not qualified.
It's the head sculpt for me, honestly.
Really?
I'm not the biggest fan of the head sculpt. I don't know. I don't know what I want, but I don't know. But I do like that. So
sorry for yawning.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you want to find out what we're probably going to talk about on the show, go to our Instagram, with Nick and Adam. And one of the other things I want to bring up real quick is not that. This one right here. So bad news about the House of the Dragon 2 season 2 release date. Basically, it's such an expensive and complicated show to make. It's not coming out till 2024, and they have no release date set. But I really hope just to troll Amazon Prime, they kind of wait until they put out the second season of Rings of Power. Or maybe by the time the second season of Rings of Power comes out, HBO will be on its third season of House of the Dragon, because that'd be the epic troll of all trolls. But
you're terrible, man.
That's Amazon has it coming for that nonsense.
Amazon has it coming.
I'm
with you, man. That's it.
So speaking of that, I was gonna say our friend. He's not our friend, but you ever listen to so much show, so much you're like, I know him.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I don't know Chris Gore, but I do know he's from Michigan. But basically, I think he was on the Midnight's Edge podcast and basically said, hey, the showrunners for Rings of Power, they're basically out. They're going to get moved. And they're just going to get someone more experienced in there. And I think you have to do that. You just have to do, how did you not do that in the first place? Because you just went you know what it was, Adam? You know who we can blame for this once again? J.J. Abrams.
Uh-oh.
J.J. Abrams has now racked up, if he were a trophy hunter, like a hunter, he would have on his mantle, he'd have Star Wars, Star Trek, and now Lord of the Rings. He's got the big three as far as nerd stuff goes.
Come on, those first two Star Trek movies were good, though.
Were they?
Yeah.
They were serviceable, but see, that's the thing with freaking, that's the biggest problem with J.J. Abrams. He does the whole, that's a big surprise. Everybody knew Khan was in the second movie. Everybody knew it. You tried to, no, it's not. It's John Harrison. Shut up. Everybody knew, everybody and their brother knew that was going to be Khan.
Right. No, I get you. I'm not saying he's good with the fake out. I'm just saying those two movies were pretty good.
No, he does. He's the master of the big mystery box, and then by the time he actually get to open the box, you're like, that sucked.
Just dumb. He wants to do a Val Zod movie, but call it Kal-El. Dumb.
Yeah, that's not happening. Thank you, David Zaslav.
Yep. I don't understand that either. Why wouldn't you want to do the Val Zod version? Never mind.
Yeah, no,
Anyways, let's get back into the dumb.
Yeah. So, do you want to?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Planet Houston. A little tired there.
Do you want to do Last Ronin figure, or do you want to do Talon?
Well, let's do Last Ronin last, because Last Ronin's probably better.
Okay.
All right, so I'll share my screen then. All right.
I got freaking Gene Simmons stuck in my head.
Gene Simmons.
Got a thunder.
All right, here we go.
Rock and roll.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So, meanwhile, on the escape, we bring you DC Multiverse, Todd McFarlane Toys, the Talon. That's right, folks. And there he is, on all of his glory. He comes with 2 swords, 2 knives. He's got the trading card in the back. He's got the double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. He's got a bicep swivel, which everybody knows I'm a big fan of the bicep swivel. This is a look at the box art on the back. I love it when the box art is actual comic book accurate. Like, I believe this is a Capullo. And here's a little closer up shot at that, some of the detail. And don't you guys worry, I didn't forget to get even closer. I just beautiful artwork right here. So, beware the court of owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadow perch behind granite and lime. They watch you at your hearth, they watch you at your bed. Speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the Talon for your head. That's right. And here he is, looking confused here, like, huh? I'm awake. Bookaboo.
It's like, how many licks does it taste to take to the center of a lollipop? Or
well, kind of glad you mentioned it. Kind of glad you mentioned that, because as you can see here, like, I wanted to show you these different little views. I did happen to notice.
Remember me.
I mean, am I wrong? He does kind of look like Beaker. But yeah, he's pretty badass though. You can see the detail work here in his like pennant or pin or whatnot, the court of owl symbol that he has. I love the head sculpt. I mean, he does look like fucking Beaker. I mean, let's be honest. But his talons here look great. Here he is next to the old man bat, getting ready to fight the old man bat here. So here's a little size comparison. You can see he comes with 2 blades. So they kind of like, what kind of sword is this, Nick? Do you know what kind of sword these are?
No.
All right. So they got the extreme angle sword. And he's like, ooh, maybe I put my weapons away and not eat my fellow bat. There he is up against the Dark Knight himself. Again, I love the color scheme on this Batman Rebirth, because they utilized this purple. And the purple is a nod to the original design of Batman, because he had purple gloves in his first appearance. And then here's a little bit more with the Red Robin coming in there to give old Bruce a hand. Here's a little bit more of that for us. Now, here's something I didn't like, right? So we take a look at the action figure back here, and we've got the sheaths, if you will, for the sword. Now, here's the side view. You see how they're just kind of slit open for him? I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I saw that on old G.I. Joe designs when we were kids, but
it's funny that you say that, because one of the channels I started watching was Shadiversity. Shadiversity is kind of the YouTube like medieval expert thing.
Yeah.
So one of the big things is, if you like, one of the hardest things to, if you have like a long sword, because all the guys who have the swords like on their back, how hard it is to actually get the sword out, but also to resheath it while it's on your back. And one of the things that they did was actually have that open side, so that it will actually go into the sheath a little bit easier.
So it is a functional.
It is a functional part of it. whether that's actually something that the character actually has, but I do know very recently I was watching a video that Shadowverse was doing on that. That was interesting.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's our look at the talent.
So I don't know if you want to give it a rating, but I mean, obviously you bought it, but is this a buy or is this a wait?
Actually, if anything, it's. I wish I had about $500 to buy a bunch more, so I have a fucking army of talents. You know me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's a buy. I mean, it's definitely. If you can only have one, like I can only have one, that's fine. But you want it as a part of your collection, especially if you're gonna have if you want all your Gotham City villains. I would call it a buy. Absolutely.
Adam says go buy.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I do, because the figure that we're going to talk about next, actually, I got from Nerdzoic. Nerdzoic actually kind of does a cool thing. I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store does. I haven't dealt with too many online stores like that. But like, let's say you have like a character where they're like an army character or whatever, and you want multiples of them.
Mm-hmm.
He'll let you pre-order like 5 to 10 because like 5 to 10 of that action figure, because if you need like from Star Wars, if you need the Death Troopers, Stormtroopers, from the GI Joe Classified series, if you want just some Cobra guys. I just thought that was interesting. I was like, so Adam would totally buy like 10 talents.
If I could, I would.
So,
I bought like 4 of those bat cycles.
oh yeah. Well, those came those went on clearance, and always looking for the deals. So I think I got mine for like $11 or something. It was ridiculous.
Which one did you get? You mean the one that you got for Grifter, or did you
Yeah.
get one of the Batman ones?
I got one of these from the Batman movie, and then I've got one of the White Knight ones. So. It's a great bike.
It is a great bike. I have 2 of them.
All right. All right. So, man, sucks. So a figure I have been waiting for finally came. Last Ronin.
Yeah.
So
because we all say.
I actually have two figures now, but the first one I bought, or actually the one I got first was from Ben Bishop from Bishop. His handles Bish Arts. He's actually the artist who did art for the Last Ronin comic book, and also did the cover art for the comic book, or for the box art. So he designed that.
Yeah.
And you could pre-order the figure directly from him, and if you paid extra, he would sign it for you and do a sketch if you want to pay a little bit extra. Plus, I think there's a deal for like some prints and stuff. Those were limited edition. Those are gone. But with the whole series of Last Ronin stuff coming out, more will be available. So this is the first action figure from the Last Ronin line. So, and here we go. Here we go.
Ooh.
So this is the Last Ronin figure, and it is absolutely glorious. It's got 3 different hands. It's got so you get a katana, you get Donnie's bow staff, you get one sai, and plus you get some ninja stars, and plus Adam, I don't know what these things are.
Those are chains for the nunchucks, aren't they?
Yeah, yep. And I tried to set it up kind of like how it is in the first panel of the comic book, but Adam, I don't know what these are, but you get some of those.
Okay.
Some ninja stars, the grappling hook with
the
the rope, the whole thing. So, but this as comic book accurate as you can get, even with the way that the sword slides in there with the bow staff, and then with that ring with even they use actual, little bit of rope to tie that. It's freaking fantastic. It's such a good figure.
I mean, it's
And
such a good storyline too. I've got to read the next issue.
yeah, so I'm gonna pull it real quick. I'm gonna grab it. So
Really, for you guys at home, if you haven't read The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, and I haven't finished it either, but I am so grateful that I started it, to the point of like I can never read it again for the first time. There, put it like that.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's such good. But
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, if I mean,
Brought to you by NECA.
yeah, this is straight out of the comic book. So I mean, it's tough when it sounds like stupid when you say it, but I was like, it's exact, like every detail is in this figure. It's freaking fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little more in-depth review on it, but so this is the first one that is the armored Michelangelo. Then they have an unarmored Michelangelo coming, and then they're gonna go, I guess they're gonna go pretty deep into The Last Ronin as far as their figure line, because it was a very successful comic book run. So they're just gonna go deep, and then they also they're gonna continue The Last Ronin story, I believe, starting November, not now, but in the month of November, they're supposed to be releasing the Last Ronin, The Lost Years, I think it's what's supposed to be called. And yeah, it's one of those, like I said, I don't want them to screw it up, but also I very excited for the world that they've created. So I'm interested to see what.
No, absolutely. I agree. You gotta take a chance, right?
Right. But it's also like, so you said you read the first couple issues?
First two.
So there's 3 more, and it's just the way it ends. It's kind of like, it's so clean and cut where it's like, yay, but also like, man, I want to go. Like I'm interested to see, but at the same time, a little bit scared. So I mean, even the different knee pads, and
Yeah. Wow.
the sigh and everything, and the way that these even fit on the back here, like there's just enough room, and that's how precise they have the measurements for this. Like they just fit in there. So go check that out if you can pick one up. I'm scared if I see one of these in the store, because it's one of those. Like, I might just buy every single one I see. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
No rationale, but I'm just like, I would be so excited every time I see the damn thing.
Yeah, I have a bunch of He-Mans like that.
Speaking of, I saw some He-Mans today at my excursion to Old. And I picked up, Adam. They have some. They have like a grab bag of comic books there. So for $8, I think I got 8 comics.
Very good deal.
Let's see what we got. But they had a bunch of He-Man stuff, and kind of love a bit of shout out to Neon from Clownfish, because they were posting some pictures from Ollie's. I was like, I haven't been to Ollie's in a while, but they had some He-Man stuff. They had a lot of Marvel stuff, very cheap.
Really?
Yep.
Marvel,
They had
Marvel Legends.
Some Marvel Legends. They had an entire case of Ronin figures from Guardians of the Galaxy. An entire case. I was like, it's a great looking figure.
Ronin figures from Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, Ronin. Oh, okay.
Ronin,
okay. I got Ronin. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. So I got.
I forget because their bad guys are so forgettable, and
I got Ninja Turtles Annual from 2020, Goosebumps number 3, Secrets of the Swamp Elves, Star Wars Adventures number 8, Star Wars Adventures Ghost of Vader's Castle,
What?
Star Wars Adventures Smuggler's Run number 1.
Mhm.
I got Star Wars Adventures The Weapon of a Jedi number 2. Nice Luke cover there. Star Wars Adventures number 1, Tales of Villainy. My Little Pony and Transformers: The Magic of Cybertron. How did this comic sell? Look at that! Look at that cover. Look at all the ponies.
Who was that for?
That's
I'm joking.
The My Little Pony and Transformer fan. A Star Wars High Republic Adventures 3 and 4. Yay!
Star Wars, lovely Star Wars.
Nothing like Disney comics.
Yeah.
Yay!
Disney comics.
But if you got a kid who wants some comic books for relatively cheap, go check out Ollie's good stuff.
That's right. Comic books.
Because
they're good for you. You see?
Comic books are fun.
Funny books.
Funny books. And also, Adam, they had a bunch of trade paperbacks. I think they had the Batman. A lot of Batman stuff. I can't remember because I don't want to say the wrong one, but a lot of New 52 stuff.
Ooh.
A lot of New 52. A lot of Harley Quinn was that the one that I had
You
at my
know,
Ollie's. A lot of Wonder Woman.
They do a good job in that Harley Quinn book, especially this Amanda Connor stuff of showing that she's nuts, but just I just never liked the stories.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Harley Quinn from the cartoon. from animated series.
I do too. I love that show.
And then all the other ones where they kind of slut her up a little bit and the whole thing. I'm like, okay, that's fun. Yay. Not my favorite, but to each their own.
Yeah.
So that was the extent of my excursion at Ollie's today. So
Ollie's, we gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta check out Ollie's.
Ollie's, I was walking around and they actually have the thing. So I'm thinking about, Adam, for the show, doing a bit of a toy drive if you want.
Toy drive?
Yeah.
Like drive around and look for toys?
Or, toys for kids
or raise toys for the holidays.
Okay. Yeah, raise some toys for kids. So I don't know how to do it, but I would like to do something like that. And Ollie's is a great place because they actually have some really fun toys for some kids. But yeah, that's something we'll get into. Speaking of something that we should do that we completely blew over that I didn't realize, I don't know if you realized. You know what we missed, Adam? I feel like a bad do partner.
What did we miss?
We missed our 1-year anniversary.
Well, yeah, 6 weeks ago, bro.
Yeah, I know. We are terrible. And I was like, I knew it was coming up. I was like, not yet, but I was like, pretty close. And then I'm like, missed our 1-year anniversary. So one of these days we're going to have to do a 1-year anniversary stream, or we'll get some of our friends of the show on. But I don't know when that's going to be. But
yeah, I was thinking I was talking with someone last night about the show and asked about how long we have been doing it. I was asked how long we've been doing it. I said, well, it's 6 weeks ago. It's about a year. And I thought to myself, boy, we sure didn't get right in front of that anniversary show now, did we?
No, that's the unfortunate thing when you try and do a 9 to 5. And when I mean a 9 to 5, when you work 50 to 60 hours a week and you still try and make time for a show. So, because I know you and I both work pretty good amount of hours, and sometimes it's just like, certain times things fall through the cracks. So.
Yeah.
So, but
I was just waiting for another broadcast.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh! That did not work out to my advantage. It was
Adam meant to
bothering
knock
me.
over all toys
I didn't
for
knock
some
over.
reason.
I knocked over the king and queen of Atlantis, man.
And Superman took him. He's down.
He's like, my infinite crisis stand here. Ugh. Damn you.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. And, oh, goodness gracious.
It's all right.
All right, so.
We've got a mild-mannered reporter here to tell everybody about it.
All right.
This mild-mannered reporter, though, can't seem to keep his clothes on. That's right. This week, Clark Kent is Kryptonio. All right, that was enough of that. I didn't even mean to do that.
I did that.
Oh.
I can do things too. So, all right, Adam, let's wrap it up. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about?
I do not.
All right.
Not that I can think of. I mean, we didn't talk about Captain America as much as I wanted to. That's probably a good thing. So,
yeah,
Oh, that's because we got off on that tangent about the stupid fucking crystal skull.
Yeah, I blame Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I just thought the way
we're home.
It's almost like the way they had to tell Kathleen Kennedy to shut up. I think there's certain it seems like a very Disney thing. Like, we're announce a bunch of stuff, and then like we're just slowly gonna phase it out, and it's not gonna happen because they did that with a lot of Star Wars stuff. I think Marvel's announced a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's like I don't see. I don't know what the hell they got going on. Like I said, the only thing I'm interested in is the next Deadpool movie. I'm not even that big of a Deadpool. So when they announce stuff, I'm just like, I don't care. They announced the new I want to keep calling him Adam Ant. It's not, it's Ant-Man. Well, it's like when they announce the next Ant-Man movie, I'm just like, I don't care. I'd rather watch an Adam Ant movie at this point.
know. Actually, to tell you the truth, man, it's hard to sign up for any of it anymore. It really is. It's and success is actually the reason some of it's. They've told the good stories. You know what I mean?
But they haven't. You haven't introduced like 2/3 of your universe yet. You still technically haven't introduced the X-Men. You haven't introduced the Fantastic Four. Instead they're going to go ahead with the Thunderbolts.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. Should they introduce the? I don't know if it's achievable anymore. I feel like it's 1997, and we just keep getting Batman and Robin. This week in the theaters, George Clooney is back as Batman, and then the next week it's the same thing, and then the next week it's the same thing.
Yeah. And that's because I think the big question was, is there superhero fatigue? And I don't think there is. I think there's Marvel/Disney fatigue.
I think there's bad storytelling fatigue. Because
I'll say, but Black Adam has been successful. I don't think it's going to crush box office. It's not crushing the box office. It just came off its second week on the top, but it just crossed the $250 million threshold. Is it going to make its money back? Probably, but I don't think. And I was listening to a stream earlier, like, oh, is it going to? I was like, it doesn't matter what this movie makes. It's already introduced The Rock. It's already had a successful opening week, and that's all they need. They just needed to show Henry Cavill and the Rock on the big screen.
The things this movie needed to do and needed to lift, it did.
It did what they needed it to do.
The problem is what's sad about it though is the things that needed to lift this movie up were not in the movie. You know what I mean? He had too much of that kid, and he was movie kid. You know what I mean? No real kid acts like that.
You might as well have had the kid from the last action hero. What it reminded me of.
That's exactly what it was. Yes. So,
But Adam, is there anything you're actually interested in seeing? Because there is something. It's not comic book related. It's not even nerdy related. But there is a new movie coming out that I want to watch. Is there anything you're looking forward to?
no, nothing. Not even Aquaman.
Not a thing.
Not even Aquaman 2. I'm looking forward to the next Superman movie with Henry Cavill. That's not even written yet.
Yeah, that's not even coming down the pipe. And then, yeah, I'm intrigued because they're revamping so much for DC. But like as far as Marvel stuff, I don't care about anything that's Marvel's coming out. It's for me, it's all DC
Right.
that I'm excited about. But there is a movie that just hit Netflix, and as a little bit of a history buff and nerd, there has not been nearly enough attention paid to this, at least cinematically, and to World War One. I know we went and saw 1917 when in the theater. Thought that was a very good movie. 'Cause that's one of those movies like World War One. I think really just gets glossed over. Um,
Oh, sure.
and it's one of those like you don't realize like, especially with how much attention that was paid to World War II and all the video games and everything. I was like, you don't realize how terrible World War One was. And one of the movies that just hit Netflix is All Quiet on the Western Front. And I've been trying to get through the audiobook of it. But it's rough. That's I know. Did you ever have to read that for school? Because I know that's kind of like a staple of school literature.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't, and it. Let's be honest, I'm not much of a hey, let's go read this classic, literature book. So I'm trying to get through. That's a freaking rough listen, and then I can only imagine what the movie's going to be. But the movie looks fantastic. It looks like cinematically, it looks great.
Well, great. I can't wait to see it then. Anything's different. I need a change of pace for movies. I need to see a film.
And that's kind of where I'm. I was like, ooh, like you said, a film, like ooh, cinema, not superhero, not nerdy, like something that's unfortunately it's going to be incredibly grounded. I can only assume it's going to be a rough watch, but yeah, I'm a history nerd, so I like watching history movies, even though I know they're not terribly accurate usually. But if they stick to the book, it's going to be brutal, but it should be a good movie.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, I'm into it.
But, all right, Adam. Anything else? Any final words for the people?
No, thank you, Planet Houston. Thank you for letting us do what we do.
Yeah, thank you guys. So if you want to, like I said earlier, if you want to see what we're talking about on the show, you can go to our Facebook and Instagram, and you can either comment it, let us know what you think of the topic that we're going to talk about. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go over there and check us out, The Escape with Nick and Adam. And if you want to download the podcast and take us with you and listen to us wherever you want to, we are on all the major podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Google Podcasts. So, other than that, thank you so much, and good night, America.
Love you, folks.